Good morning, afternoon. Well, it's mostly morning for people that are not on the same coast as me. So it's morning for basically everybody to the left of where I am. Everybody else, good afternoon on the East Coast. It's Gregory Puff here, hanging out, taking over the Final Fantasy Randomizer Twitch channel to finish up this VOD review. I'm going to finish up Beachdreaming here. We were going into Waterfall when I had to dip out last time, and we will be doing Egodev right after that. So hopefully we'll be able to do Egodev. We should have the time for it depending on how long it took them to finish their run. I can actually look at the Duckling Weekly or the leaderboard and see. Egodev put up a... Let's see Egodev's run here. Oh, 114. So that'll be a little bit shorter than this one, the last one for sure. Should be about 45 minutes or so. So anyways, good morning all again. Afternoon, everybody else. Thanks for hanging out and watching as I talk about the rest of this run here. So we were going into Waterfall last time. We were about about an hour 20 in when I turned this off. So here we go here. Luckily, we have a tracker, so I can be reminded of the things that we need here. The main thing I remember mentioning before was that, we don't need to really check these magic shops. Mainly the reason why is because we have all the magic we could ever need ever in the history of ever, right? We've got like Fast and Temper and Nukes and Life 2s, Cure 4s and Heal 3s and all these crazy good spells that there's really nothing there that you would need to go out of your way to look for. Another thing I remember mentioning before we got here was that we were diving this continent here. We're in the Onrak continent, but we don't have the Oxyale. So again, it's sometimes you have to go into Waterfall. The Oxyale is potentially in Waterfall, or the vendor item is the Oxyale that could be in Onrak or at the caravan. But for the most part, especially if you're in the air, you really want to try to route in this continent in one go, and you want to make sure you have the Oxyale before you do that. And just based on what we're looking at here, it looks like we have the slab translated, but we haven't turned it in. We have the bottle, which we haven't turned in either, and those are two quick checks we could have done before heading over here. So again, not huge stuff, but it's definitely I say it's not huge, but I would say it's a pretty big routing decision there to at least go turn those two things, especially since they're right next to each other. So thinking about what we're doing here, again, we're level 25 across the board. We don't need battles. We killed a bunch of red Ds earlier, and there's really just not a lot that we need, and at some point we gotta go. So luckily it ended up working out okay because the Oxyale was in fact here. But I would have definitely at least exhausted the bottle and the slab translation first before coming here. At least that way for certain that the Oxyale is in fact going to be here. So... Also, another thing that's good, especially for newer runners, if you're a Duckling and you're watching, is you can have maps up. Especially if you're uncomfortable with the layouts of these dungeons, it is totally acceptable. If you have a second monitor, you have screen real estate to have the maps pulled up on your screen so you can see what's going on. So I'm pretty sure Sea Shrine is incentivized in these flags because these are the flags from last week. So I was thinking for sure going down there first would have been the best thing to do. Yes, I have milk right here. That's the last one. So it looks like we're going to go on ahead and take on Kraken here pretty soon. Other thing, just watching us go through these particular floors and stuff is, always try to map your steps to where you're stepping in front of doors or you're hugging walls inside of rooms and stuff like that. So let's see what we decide to do here. Temper's a good call. Thinking about what we're doing. Fade, yes, like it. So we're going to temper the fighter who has a huge sword of some kind that just wiped the floor with Kraken. Holy moly, that was a dead Kraken if I've ever seen one. I think that's an ice sword +5 if I remember correctly. That's kind of good. So, and this is another thing here too, is if you have plenty of camping gear, you don't have to like run around in there and save up. But I do like saving. I'm a big proponent of saving. Save after you kill Kraken, especially if you're going to go back in and go check that incentive. All right, we're going to listen to the rest of the Secret of Mana stuff and then probably switch over to something a little bit different. So going straight to the incentive, not even opening boxes at this point. I do like this play because at this point we are pretty far into the seed. We're like an hour 30 in. And we need to go. Now I know we have exit and warp unless we're planning on checking these boxes. There we go. Exit and out. Perfect. There it is. Love it. Gotta love it. All right, so it looks like the only thing we're missing right now is the tail, the rod. Yeah, the tail and the rod. So we are going to go to Sky without checking the bottle and the slab translation first. Now, Sky is incentivized. It could be the Mas... No, we already have the Masagun. Okay, we're leaving. Okay, we're saving. All right, nice. So I remember earlier when I was talking about like how many battles Beachdreaming was taking like in the early game and how it was kind of slowing them down because we were taking like these low-level overworld battles here. Now, this and Sea Shrine are the places where you want to take battles to gain levels because these enemies give so much better EXP, than those early battles, and they aren't quite as hard to kill like certain enemies depending on like what spells you have. Like you could throw an Ice 3 at those Cerberus and do pretty well. All right, drop down pack in here. Not opening any boxes because, again, we're just trying to light up our last orb and finish the game up. I'd have to look at Egodev's items again, or what we have here. I know he has the Masa, so... And there's our tail, so we can do some promotion here. So, one of the things I will say, and this can be kind of like the... you don't see very many people running fighter and black belt with both of them alive. You either choose one or the other, and you choose it. If you bring both, you'll choose early on in the seed which one you don't want alive, because at the end of the day, you don't really need both those melee classes. You're either going to take the black belt to like 32 or 42 on like some sort of stationary solo grind, or you're going to do a walking grind with the fighter and get the levels you need. Now, where we are now, like the black belt should have been dead, and that way you could have even more levels on your the rest of your party. Like you could be close to level 30 by now on your fighter, white mage and black mage, and then a fighter with that, even with a Masa -1, is going to be doing ridiculous damage. Hey, it's Warmech. Don't look so sad. Warmech's fine. Just throw a temper on your fighter and you're good to go. What was that? Was that slow? Slow, more than likely not going to land on Warmech because Warmech has like ridiculous MDef. And I think resists stuff? I don't know. Oof. Warmech not playing around here. Get the tempers out. Let's use a Cure 4. I know we have one. Oh, we are going to use the life 2. I do like using the life 2 in battle, remembering to do that. Let's keep the life 2s coming. May as well. Now, here's the thing I kind of wonder. I haven't seen this flag used yet. I hope you keep all the things you, like, you know, if you buffed up and stuff. I wonder if you still have, like, all your temper charges when you're back to life. Because I know in the Final Fantasy games later on, that doesn't happen. You kind of lose all your buffs. Anyway, big old hit on Warmech. That's a dead Warmech. Super excited. Lots of levels there. Didn't really need the levels, but heck, level 28, we're fine. Ooh, airs with Toxic. That's not fun. I don't think we have a ribbon either. Because Life in Battle didn't exist. Yeah, I mean, that would be my guess, too. It was just me kind of, like, randomly saying words. All right, so heal 3. Good use of heal 3 there. Because, again, heal 3 is basically like menuing out 12 heal potions. And it's way quicker. So, lighten up our 4th orb here. I think. No, we haven't found the rod yet. So I think if I remember correctly, the bottle turns to the rod, and I want to say the slab is the ribbon. But this was a while ago. This was last week's duckling seed. So I like what we're doing here. You know, tempers, fades, may as well. Any sort of damage you can get out there. Temper's always a good thing to use against these high HP bosses. Because your knight's going to do more damage with the more tempers versus like throwing nukes and fades. But fades makes sense with the white mage because white mage doesn't really have anything else to do. Alright. You're right next to Gaia and Lefane, and you still need to do those last 2 turn-ins. But it looks like we're going to do class change first, which I'm fine with. Alright, just trying to remember where Bahamut is. Bahamut's in that one, yep. I'm trying to figure out this class change is rather unnecessary, and I will say, and I remember saying it in the last VOD review, we're level 29. Like, at this point, we have to go to level 31 just to get a charge of life that I think is level 1, if I remember correctly. And that's why it's like kind of important to try to find your tail, or at least not have as many levels when you find your tail. I think I mentioned it earlier during the Red D grind. I think we stopped at what level? I don't know. We were pretty high level. It was like 20, 23 or something. And then at that point, you know, you're going all the way to 31 just to get 4 charges, because you get a charge every odd level past 15. Or starting at 15 and going past. All right, using the shortcut, checking level 8. I would have picked up the fast. I mean, we're level 29. We may as well grab fast. We did all the things for class change and have the levels, so you may as well grab it. I'm assuming he did, and I just missed it. I was too busy talking about other random stuff. Also, MS Tribus, thanks for joining me. Yep, there's our rod. That's go mode right there. I would still go to Lefane and get the ribbon, because ribbons are invaluable. Ribbons are the key to life, as they say. All right, so you can tell looking at the map here, trying to get to Earth Cave. All right, that's enough of this song. I'm going to play something different. All right, so there's really not much to say about any Earth Cave dive at this point. Typically, if you're going into Earth Cave and it's like one of the last places you're going to, you just go. Don't take any battles. Just keep moving. I'm sure this music isn't too loud, which it's not. Should be fine. So yeah, and I know he finishes in about 10 minutes, so yeah, it looks like based on just the time we're at now, 1 hour 41, the levels that we have, this is going to be pretty smooth getting through Earth Cave. That way that he went going north, it's a little loud compared to my voice. Okay, thank you for that. Like, can you hear me okay, or is it just too loud? I'll pull it down just a tiny bit. No. All right, we lich coming up here. Again, I don't imagine any issues here in this battle. Yeah, 5 hits, 5, whatever. Better now. There we go. I still don't know the purpose of hitting the orb and then using exit when you can just take one step. I think that that's a not great way to use exit, but it's totally fine. Yeah, exactly. Again, I can't stress it enough. If we are going to save in cities, you got to use the reset to get out of the city quicker. But you have a billion houses and a billion tents and a billion cabins. There's absolutely zero reason to go into a city to save the game. You've got a house, just use your house. Drop the house down. It's way quicker. All right. So get away from chimeras. Probably realizing that was not the quickest way to go through that floor, but that's fine. Badman. Let's get away from these guys. Yeah. Again, I can't really like this is more of like a learning experience, I think, for Beachdreaming than anything. So it's not like I can be like, oh, what are you doing? Like, obviously, you got maps up, real new runner to the community, just trying to learn the game, and trying to get through it the best that they can. Accidentally hitting that that spike tile 3 times now. Those earths are a little scary. I wouldn't be checking these boxes because there's really nothing in them that you could possibly need. Again, at this point, I would just say, like, hey, if you're unfamiliar with the maps or like where to go in these dungeons, like again, there's no issue with having the maps pulled up on your computer. That way you kind of like have an idea of where all the stairs are and everything. But he's heading in the right direction. And this Topher should not be any issues. The only thing I would be concerned about is the lack of ribbons. Because I don't think we have a single ribbon. Man, this cover is really good. Those twins can play pretty well. We have Cure 4 and Heal 3, so menu and heal pots here. Probably a little bit quicker to just go on ahead and use the Cure 4 or the Heal 3, or at least use Heal 3s until we, one person needs health, and then switch over to Cure 4. So big hit out of that black belt, and then a Masa. I figured that was going to... That lich didn't stand a chance. Do we not have softs? Is that why we still have a statue in the party? I could have sworn I remember Beachdreaming pick up like a ton of softs during the last one. All right, going into the carry battle. Not moving people around. I don't think it's really necessary to move people around here, especially since... Well, we're going to kill carry in one round anyway. Okay, going the right way here. Hugging the walls. Love it. Love it. Get away from those waters. You got to hug those walls there, though. Got to hug those walls. yeah, again, we need to like not have a statue in our party and use them specifically for healing if we're going to do that, because that's just less menuing we have to worry about. Again, like the turn order, or like what we're doing, just attack, temper. There's nothing wrong here. Maybe move the fighter behind the black belt because the fighter does more damage, but luckily slow 2 didn't even land. Are we still using the ice +5 sword when we have a massa -1? Okay, Inferno's a little scary. All right, luckily we killed Tia, and that was no huge issue there. But no reason to like temper both of your characters up. Just like dump all your tempers into one character. Go with the one that's going to be doing the most damage. And at this point, I think, well, I don't know. They might be pretty even because I know the black belt crit rate is like turned off, or like it's vanilla crit rate. And I want to say the blessings on the seed were like plus 20% hit. So the black belt should be doing some pretty decent damage. Anyway, got this chaos battle coming up, so we're gonna watch this. And actually, I can turn some music on. All right, we got temper coming out. Look at all that HP. Ooh, rub coming out. You hate to see rub take out a fighter, but you do have a level 30 black belt in your party, so I think we're gonna be okay. Plus the life 2. Oh man, you are literally in time. All right, so we're doing Fade. Nuke's going to come out. It's going to take out the Black Mage, but we do have the Life 2, which I will say, like, the one thing Beachdreaming is doing better than me personally is I don't ever think, even with the new flag, I would never think to use Life 2 in battle. I'd just be like, oh, that person's dead. I guess we just kind of move on. Hope for the best. We're in a big pickle here as we don't have a Life 2 caster anymore, and it's just down to a fighter versus chaos and some hopes and dreams. That swirl rolled really low. I was pretty lucky that swirl rolled as low as it did, but no, that went really well. That chaos, that whole Topher actually was pretty banging. So yeah, I mean, outside of the stuff that I mentioned in the last review, and the stuff that I just kind of talked about now, like I think nothing really else to talk about. Just, watch some more people do their thing. Take the advice that I posted or whatever. Like, I don't know what's about to play here, but it needs to be paused. And yeah, just keep practicing. That's really it. Just keep practicing. Use your warps and exits. Make sure you save the game. Blah 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 blah. All those kind of things. So, Beachdreaming. Hopefully you're probably at work, because I remember you were at work when I did the first one. And hopefully you'll be able to check out the rest of that. But what I did say in the rest of it was that your plays pretty much from the time that we came on until the end of the game were pretty spot on. The only thing I would have done different is not go to Waterfall when you did, but it ended up working out okay because the Axial was in Waterfall. So there you go. What are you going to do? Sometimes even the best riding decisions, or what you think are the best riding decisions, can get mucked up if, with item placement. So anyways, let's go to Egodev here. I'm going to try to pull it up. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Puff and Pulse season. I got to scroll all the way up to Egodev. There we are. Okay, it's on YouTube. I may have to do some switching of things. Dismiss. Playback speed. Let's do 1.5. Dead Pulse likes to do 2. I prefer it a little bit slower so I can see like menuing and such. Let's see how this looks on here. Oh yay, Poppy's playtime. All right, let's move some stuff around. What is that? What is that? Bruh. There we go. So yeah, you guys get to see the magic of figuring out what you're doing on Twitch. Me trying to get everything cropped and ready to go. Okie dokie. Alt. 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 No. Alt. Leave that like that. That way we know what we're playing. Fuck, come on. Alt. Let's... Bruh. Alright. Actually, I will get rid of this Duckling Weekly only because then I can make this even bigger. There we go. Full screen action right there. That is the power. Yeah, exactly. The fun feeds. All right, here we go. So we're going to go on ahead and do Egodevs right now. I'm going to just hit play and we're going to see where we start here. So we're going to look over the blur scenes. I am fine with it, or I want to see the blur scenes because this was last week's Duckling. I'm just interested to see what party we're going to run with. So plus 20 to strength plus the Vorpal. I think it's fine. I would bring the Thief regardless because of the Thief lockpicking. I mean, it's monstrously huge and yeah, it's awesome. Always bring a Thief. Always bring a Thief. I didn't see what we're bringing on night. So we're going to run night. It looks like we're running night party here. Fighter strength, defense. So we are going to take the white mage, so we'll have the life 2. Okay, actually, I don't want to hear any more Secret of Mana music. Alright, looks like we're in. Going straight here. Life 2, totally accessible for that white mage and for the knight. There's Ice 3. Yep. Okay, checking the item shop. Maybe we got a chain armor. Cool. Just all right, checking boxes. Normally, it's 3 boxes, but it is a pretty quick check, so I don't hate it. I'm not sure that large knife was like really worth equipping or taking the time to equip. Now that katana's huge. That's a big pickup, especially for that thief. Like the reason why I say the large knife isn't worth going out of your way to equip at that point is because you've got Ice 3 that's going to kill Garland anyway. You're more than likely not going to be meleeing around too much, especially in the early game with Ice 3. Ooh, so we are going to check the hints here. I do like that, yes. Forgot this was even turned on. May as well learn what we're up against. All right. Heading back in, checking the item shop. Yes, yes, yes. You check the item shop here, not because you need items, but you're looking for a vendor item. Because we have the, the tents and the pures and the softs and heals and all that stuff with this flag set. That's smart, yeah. The only thing I noticed is, did we not get the chain armor? I don't remember seeing you hopping in and menuing to equip that. All right, we got the bottle. Awesome. Check the boxes because you're here. I think Dead Pulse has like a rule. If it takes like 5 seconds, then go on ahead and check the boxes. So, I mean, you're going to check the boxes in Matoi's Cave. All right, a little bit quicker to go under the river system, or north of the mountains as opposed to south of the mountains, but I'm sure you already knew that. Like, you don't need me to tell you that. I love using the the quick resets to get away from those battles. Love it. Me personally, and this is just me personally, I typically like to kill the pirates first, especially when you have a sweeper that can guarantee kill them, like the Ice 3. The reason why is because you have money, so you're okay to pick up magic here, but sometimes you'll end up in the city with only like maybe a few $100s, and then it's better to kill the pirates to get the money from them. Then you can afford the magic. But that ended up working out okay. I wouldn't have even bothered saving either. There's no way these pirates are going to wipe you. TNT, so we're going back. That's fine. Checking for vendor items. There's our key there. Now, the good thing about the key being for sale here is, well, we've got a thief in our party, and we don't really need the key right now. Yeah, the key gets us a key item. Key gets us a key item. And I think the key item that the key blocks is the floater, if I remember correctly. So if you can get the key and get in the air quickly, that's great. But I don't know. I think I'd rather get the level 15. So let's see what we decide to do here. Obviously, we don't have the money right now. You could do a pop grind, or you could go checking boxes. And I do like just getting out of here and doing the TNT turn-in. And because either the key is going to hold the canoe so you can progress. Ooh, black shirt and Thor's hammer. Yeah, I like that. Oh, for sure. 13, Kylo 13. Please do. And submit it so that I can like look over it and everything. Okay, there's our ship. Ship gets us to Marsh Cave. Now, a part of me, that Katana +4 is great, but a part of me would have probably would have sold that Katana +4, or maybe the Pro Cape. And we have a Thor's hammer and a black shirt now. We have tons of things we can sell to get the key if we really wanted the key, as opposed to grinding up to level 15. Yeah, there's 2 katanas in the pool. Plus, I mean, in all seriousness, you brought a fighter. You're going to lean more on the fighter's strengths than you would the thief, even with a Katana +4. Especially, we don't know this now, but the tail's pretty late in the game. Tails and Sky. I mean, obviously, we don't know it when we start the seed. All right. Oh, for sure. The katana is one of the highest vendor item values in the game, I think. All right, we got Cure 4 and Exit. Again, kind of like what I said with Beachdreaming, I don't like Exit in that first slot because you don't want to accidentally exit out of a dungeon when you're trying to heal up mid-battle. Or not mid-battle, but like you're just like somewhere. And you're like, Cure 4 everybody, like right before a boss, and then you accidentally exit. That would be a bummer. That's fine. It's totally okay. This is, I wouldn't, like, I don't think anybody would do with these particular flags is checking Marsh Top, because there's only 4 chests up here, and one of the chests is connected to a chest that's on the way down to Marsh Bottom, which is where the incentive is located. So you're kind of conceding time in a sense that you don't really need to check these boxes. There's not going to be anything in these boxes that you're going to be like, oh my God, that's totally awesome, because we've got a free ribbon in the incentive pool, and we have a Masamune in the incentive pool as well. Now, don't get me wrong, all that experience is great. Like, that gets you closer to level 15 and not having to worry about the key. But it's like, did we really need to take that minute to go to Marsh Top? Probably not. And then we aren't using Exit to get out of here, because we have Exit at level 3, and I'm pretty sure we were level 5 after killing the pirates. Now, we may have only had 1 cast of that, which is probably why we're walking it out. Yeah, it looks like we only have 1 cast of Exit, so that's fine. So, yeah, then at that point, like, is the extra experience worth it? Probably. I don't know what level it got us to. Is taking Shadows and Marsh Cave worth it? Probably not. I mean, you just got like 10,000 experience out of a box. You don't really need to be taking shadows for 200. And then that's the one box I was talking about that was connected to one of the boxes upstairs. So yeah, once you get 10,000 out of 2 boxes of EXP, we don't need to be taking these. Oh, cash. Okay, that makes more sense. But you're still not getting a ton of cash from these battles. You know what I mean? You should be opening boxes versus taking these battles. But I get the, like, not realizing how much money you get for the katana or for the Thor's hammer or for the black shirt or for the pro cape. Not realizing what you could get from those. I can understand taking these battles. Especially when these boxes are giving you like 500. Now that short sword I would have probably gone out of my way to like equip. Oh, these mummies. I remember these mummies. Oh, no. They suck so bad. Come on. Come on, Black Mage. Get out of there. Okay. Whew. Whew. I'm a little scared for everybody there. This mummies. Still living on the edge here. So we are going to finish clearing this place out. Man, we're already level 10 just on those. And we've got 10,000 gold. We're pretty close to being able to pick up the key. We have a crown. Crown will probably get us the rest of the money. There's the chime. Yeah, because Astos is great for early experience. Good use of Quad X. Awesome. Good, great use of Quad X. Please use the exit and warp. And no, you don't have a cast of exit. Never mind. All right, go on ahead. I'm going to probably have to pause this for just a second. I gotta step away just for a moment after this. All right, so we're back in Marsh Cave. Or not Marsh Cave. We're back in Earth Cave. Looking at stuff. We got the money for the key now, if we want to pick up the key. But we're also only 5 levels away from... We're only like 5 levels away from not even needing the key. There's Heal 3, wall, good pickups all around. So there is like some sort of conventional wisdom. Like, do we go into Elfland when we don't have the money to get everything we need in Elfland, or do we go to Marsh Cave first? Now, going to Elfland here was good because you got exit and you were able to get out of Marsh Cave quickly. But then you're double diving the city. Fizzle always told me, like, always try not to double dive cities as much as possible. Now, Elfland is one of those cities that is kind of the exception just because there is level 3 and 4 magic there, and things can get pretty expensive, and we don't really have the money for it. Those houses are really cheap. Let's get some camping gear. Okay, good. I like 20 cabins. I'm a big fan of that. Here's the ruby, which we don't need. Don't forget to use exit and warp. We have them both now. Oh, it's like he heard me a week later. Time traveling telepathy there. Oh, man, I remember these Caribs with glare. Yeah, just reset. I really do like the reset, by the way. Sorry, my voice cracked. Ooh. I do like the reset out of there. And you know Caribs are scary, so start dropping cabins. Just litter this river system with cabins. What are we doing? We're back. Okay, just... I wonder what was on your mind there. Just going in, back into the city. Something... There we go. So this routing's totally fine, by the way. Like, as of right now, we don't know that the key leads to the floater. Right? And the key's only blocking Key Lock Canaria. And we're thinking, I might as well just finish this all up. A little lost, that's fine. Now, one thing I will say is probably better, like, the routing here is fine. Whatever you do is totally fine. Here's the red D, everyone's favorite red dragon. Now, I throw a quad X at red dragons every time you see them, just because they typically will roll below 300 HP, and it's quicker than using Ice 3 that could not kill it. That makes sense. Hey, another katana plus 4. Who knew? Get so many katanas. We're only three levels away from not needing the key. I'd probably grind that red D until we at least got to level 15s. Excal +2, huge pickups out of these boxes. Holy moly! All right, here don't be scared to use exit and warp and all that stuff to get in and out of here. I see we're taking the red D again. Ooh, that ice sword doing ice sword things. Okay, just like with Beachdreaming, did the exact same thing. It is safer to grind the red D on the chest in the bottom right of this room. All right, I'm going to pause this super quick. I'm coming! All right, sorry, I stepped away there for 2 seconds. Let me go on ahead and unpause. Yes. So yeah, the very first room, like on the armory floor, that not the very first door that takes you kind of north, but the second door that gets you to that very first box on the bottom right-hand corner of the room. There, that same spike tile is to the left of that box, and since the wall is only one, I guess, tile down, you can go up and down or north and south right there onto that spike tile and never advance the encounter table. And it's way safer to grind there than it is to grind where you were grinding, just because you can't get an off tile encounter. You can't get something scary like those giants and iguanas that could, like, paralyze your whole party or whatever. All right, so another thing, and this is something that Fizzle would say, is like, if you're going to go into a dungeon, finish the dungeon. You could have probably killed Carrie with this party, to be honest. I think we had Temper at level 1. Got Quad X. I think you could have maybe made a run at Carrie, and that way you don't have to go back there. Otherwise, I would have gone to Ice Cave first. And done the warp trick, and do the warp trick and the exit trick. That way you can get your incentive out of here pretty quickly. If I remember correctly, the incentive here is the canal. All right, doing the warp trick. Love it. Using, hugging the wall. All that hugging of the wall. It's the chef's kisses for sure. Check all that. There's a power bonk. That's kind of awesome. And exiting out. Look at how quick that ice cave was. Just, that's a good ice cave. And we're only one level away from not needing the key. Moving some stuff around, may as well. Resetting out of Hydras because they're pointless. And one thing I will say is if Beachdreaming catches this later on, I hope he watches this VOD review, because it's good to see somebody who finished a seed 40 minutes quicker than you run the seed, so you can see like what they did differently than what you did, and just like how much, how effective certain strategies can be. Like all this camping gear dropping down and all this camping gear that you're dropping down, resetting away from battles and stuff is just, it's really good stuff. So we are going to buy the key. I'm in a weird spot here, because you're literally one level away and you were in Ice Cave, and you could have like maybe taken like one battle of eyes and gotten to level 15, and then you wouldn't even have to go to Provoca. So again, that's just, yeah. And yeah, and that'll happen sometimes too when you're new and you're playing and stuff. You don't realize like what level you're on. You don't realize what's going. Sometimes it just happens. It's just something I noticed. I was like, oh my god, we're only like level 14. We're like right there. And no, it wasn't the floater. It was the loot. I knew it was required, so we're gonna have to get the floater out of somewhere. There's really not that many options left. We've got Earth Cave without the rod. We got the Ruby, which takes us to Sarda, which I know is the Masamune. And we have Ordeals. So we're not doing the Ruby translation. Looks like we're going full on, has Dead Pulse in his ear, and is going to do Ordeals first. This is a bold play. Only reason why I say it's a bold play is because you have 2 incentives that are there in the Melman continent and only 1 incentive that's down here. So this is like playing the odds here, right? The 33% chance. Yeah, I would never throw Ice 3s. I mean, I know we're just trying to do damage here, but Ice 3s that Zombie Ds aren't really going to do. But, and I get that. Yeah, Egodev, I totally get that. That's why I was like, yeah, there's the 33%, but then there's also like, you don't really need... you don't want to go into Earth Cave without the rod unless you 100% have to. It's kind of like you don't want to go to the on-rack location without the Oxio to go dive Waterfall unless you 100% have to. Unless it's like the last case scenario. So then at that point, if you're thinking 50-50, yeah, I could see the reasoning for coming down here to Ordeals. Because again, now you're playing a little bit more even odds. And then at this point, if this is the rod, then it's, then you can do Earth Cave in one go. So again, this is kind of like, I would say this Ordeals play is like no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong answer here, right? Because it's a randomizer. At the end of the day, we don't know that Sarda has the Masamune and that the floater's here. Like, we don't know that. I know that because I've done it, but in the grand scheme of things, we didn't know that at the time. The floater could have easily been in Earth Cave. Or Sarda could have easily had the floater, and then your opponent could have easily been in the air. Jesus the Frog saying that this is always the play. All right, we know that the adamant turns into the floater. Probably exit out of here. I mean, I don't think you really need to fight the zombie team. So it's a little bit quicker just to throw the exit out. And we're going to do it anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, I mentioned the eye tile earlier, but I realized that I'm just now realizing that the tiles are shuffled, so I get checking that battle now. I forgot. I had like a little senior moment there. All right, there's the herb. More fetch quests galore here. May as well use the key to check these boxes down here. More experience. Ice +4. That's a nice... That's endgame armor right there. Yeah. Another ice +5 sword. Alright. So, one thing I will say is... might have gone around to the southern dock. It doesn't really matter because it's the floater and you're going to be able to use the river system. But if you had parked on the south side of this, based on what we know, we've already turned in the crystal, the TNT, the adamant, and the crown. So it couldn't have been anything in the inner sea. You would have your ship and then you could just sail over and the ship's faster than using the canoe. Or, than walking on land, now that we have faster ship on. So always think about that too when you're, yeah. I'm glad that was useful information. I was like, am I making sense? All right, so we got our floater. Ruby not required here at this point. Hopefully we'll talk to Sarda to get our Mass Immune, but obviously Mass Immune not required. Nice menuing, by the way. It was really smooth. Love saving. Once you get in the air, may as well. Never know if Doom Gaze is going to get you. It's just me being silly. I do really appreciate any amount of saving. It's possible. Gersharks. One thing I will say is, yeah, I mean, it's good to check these tiles. It's fine. But, like, you're already level 15. 15? The EXP is pretty high here. And like I said during Beachdreaming's thing, you kind of don't want to get too many levels with an unpromoted party when you're not running Black Belt, just because you do want, we know life's level 1. You're going to want life on your knight, right? And the more levels you get, the more levels you get, the harder it's going to be for you to get those spell charges on your ninja and knight. I mean, we got temper. We've got some pretty decent spells that we would want to put on our knight and ninja. And right now, it's going to be harder to get those spell charges. And again, if you were running a Black Bolt, I would not hate this at all. I would be like, yes, look for a tile to grind. This would be perfect if you had a Black Bolt and you were however many minutes in, 36 minutes in. You can come in here, solo grind this. This would be your great solo grind because it's throwing out fire too. You can kill off the rest of your party real quick. And then you could go to town and get to level 42 and then just kind of breeze through the rest of the game. But we're running a fighter comp here. And there are places that you can get levels along the way with the spells that you have that can get you to where you need to go without doing a static grind. You can go into Sky and you can kill, the multitude of enemies that are in Sky that give great EXP. Or with the Ice 3 that's early on and the Ice +5 sword, I mean, you can kill all kinds of things in Sea Shrine to get levels. And you would be at whatever level that you're trying to get to now on the way. Now, if we are going to take this grind, hopefully we're not taking any battles. We're running away from every single battle we see from here on through the rest of the game. I think, where are we at? Level 22, 23? Yeah, 23 there. I could see that. Yeah, but yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. If you forgot the Masa was incentivized, then I could see being concerned about certain things. But you do have an X-Cal +2, and we're more than likely going to find a tail at some point. And the X-Cal +2 is going to do fine. At the scaling, it's going to be fine. All right, I think we can be done. It looks like we are done. We're not done. We're going to keep getting some more levels here. Yeah, I already kind of said my piece about how I feel about this, so I think we'll just watch how it goes and how it ends up, how much time it ends up saving you throughout the seed. It may save you some good time. But I think with the scaling, with the pretty low scaling, we're going to find a tail potentially. Nice +5. Man, that's just the damage bonus against the fire enemy. But it's just big old hits out of there, right? Let's see where we're stopping. All right. Alright, so we're at 26 on these two characters. Yeah, I think so. I think if you're running a fighter comp, like going to 28. Now, again, you're not realizing that you're forgetting that Moss is incentivized, which is fine. You know, that's the easy thing to forget. But Tail's going to be out there too, and you have the X-Cal already in your inventory at this point. So I think, like, you know, if you're going to go through the trouble of doing the solo grind that's happening currently, we've got a Black Bolt that's going to do way more damage at these levels. You know, Black Bolt's going to out damage the Knight at level 32, even with Masa. So yeah, at that point, then you can take away the time that you would spend opening boxes for gear for your Thief and Knight, and you would have a Black Belt in your party that doesn't need gear, and you could just go, right? Especially, like, I mean, whoa, we are like really way high levels here on this Knight, or on this not even Knight, this Knight that is never going to learn life. All right, so we're level 35. This Knight is going, or this fighter is going to be. Oh no, unnerfed Black Belt is what I was getting at. Is where, yeah, at level 32, an unnerfed Black Belt is going to outdamage a fighter with a Masamune. Now, nerfed Black Belt, probably not. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. It's pretty close. All right, so we got tons of money now. We have basically everything we need here, right? Looking at your tracker, I want to say the slab is an Earth Cave, so probably wouldn't have hopped into Melmond until I found the slab. But we know that the slab is an Earth. Or at least I know it is. You don't know it is. There's your Masa. So that's got to make you pretty happy. Not only do you have like a Masamune, but you're like level 35. You're going to be just murdering everything, right? Realizing you don't have the rod, love that, getting out of there, no reason to go there. So we've only got a couple of things that we can do here, right? We've only got the bottle translation, unless you want to go to a Oxyalus Sea, or if you want to go into a Rodless Earth. And I do like this play if I had to choose between the two. If I had to make the decision of what I was doing, this would be what I would do. Turn in your bottle. And then at this point, well, now you've got your rod. And we need to get the Earth incentive anyways. Now we can knock out two birds with one stone. Yes, Oxyalus Waterfall. Thank you. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, if you did you just turn? Did you... Wait a minute. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, there's our slab. Alright, let's use our rod. Everything's going swimmingly so far. Earth's pretty easy. We're not opening boxes. Going northbound. Always go through the center. It's quicker. Oh, man, these oozes are... Okay. I was like, I think I remember the oozes sucking. Uh-oh. Wizards aren't fun. Glare for days here. Blizzard coming out. Oh, my gosh. The old The old wizard wipe gets you every time. Yeah, I don't think there was anything you could do against that. That was just bad turn order and bad luck that your black bolt didn't get away from, or your black mage didn't get away from that. That would have happened. That could have easily happened to anybody. It stinks that Glare landed on such a high level fighter, but it is time elemental, so it's like you didn't have any protection against it. Yeah, sometimes in FFR you could do everything right, and you'll hit that wizard pack and get glared out of existence, and the other person will ambush it and run away like it was nothing. And that could be the difference between winning and losing a race. Sometimes that kind of stuff just happens. All right. See if we can find some more stuff to listen to here. Incoming transmission from Scrooge McDuck. Gotta always play your duck tunes because, well, I am reviewing duck seeds, right? Yeah, stun touch, petrifies poison mummies do happen. That is for sure. All right, made pretty short work of Lich. I really don't like, the only thing I can like really talk about here at this point, I feel like, is how you route dungeons. See, now you're going back into Melm. You know what I mean? Like, why I would say, like, with the magic you have, you probably didn't need to hop into Melman, especially since you didn't have the tail and you didn't have promotion. There's things you couldn't have picked up on the Black Mage. Like, you get the slab, you go back into Melman. That's like, 5, 10, 15 seconds here and there that you're going into Melman, checking that. You don't have the slab. Well, you got to go back in once you get the slab. We know the slab isn't required. It's the ribbon, but still, it's just like... And then here we go. I would have liked you turning in the slab first to see if it was the Oxyale before coming here. But again, we know the Oxyale's here, so it's like... Yeah. It's like... This is fine. Yeah. No, and I hear that. But luckily we know this is the Oxyale. But if this was the ribbon, then you'd have to go turn in the slab, get the Oxyale, come back, double dip this continent. And it's just kind of those things you want to try to avoid. And sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes you just have to, but do it. But like, sometimes routing's about trying to avoid certain situations like this. All right, so we got our Oxyale. We know the cube is down here, which puts you in go mode. And we know that the tail is in the sky. So that's basically what you're looking for at this point. Now, I feel like there's no right or wrong decision here as far as, like, do you kill Kraken first, then go check mermaids and exit out, or do you check mermaids, warp back up, and then go kill Kraken? Again, I don't think it really matters. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. However you feel comfortable routing it, I think is totally acceptable. So it looks like we are going to go down here. Again, checking that box. Probably didn't need to, and it could have gotten you killed because ghosts are scary. Checking these boxes. I don't know. We don't have a ribbon. So I can see checking these boxes because we don't have a ribbon. But we do have a guaranteed ribbon at some point. And I think the white mage has wall. So yeah, here we go. Warp. Using the warp. Get out of there. All right, let's see how we route this. Remember, no, you want to be in the left side because you can get in front of the door and save yourself a step. That door right there. Going the right way down is quicker. Always check these boxes. I wouldn't say always check these boxes, but it doesn't take long to check those boxes. Man, Glare is just not being your friendly. Hugging the walls, I like it. Make sure you come up this corridor here on the right side so that you can step in front of the door. Hey, bud. What's up? All right. Oh, yeah, that earth wipe would freak me out, and I would probably go looking for ribbons, too, even with an incentive out there. Again, go down the right side of that room so you can hug the wall, come into that door. Saving steps here and there, even if it's like literally 3 steps over the course of a dungeon, I mean, that could stop you from hitting, like, you know, unrunnable waters after killing Kraken. My Twitch followers. All right. I like putting the thief up in the front. I think the thief was already in the front, but I still like putting the thief up in the front in case Kraken decides to go crazy like he just did. And there you go. Killing Kraken. We've only got one more orb to light, right? No, we still got to kill Carrie. Yeah. Like Jesus the Frog just said, you could be, you know, missing those steps can get you 3 steps away from getting out of Ice Cave and hitting an unrunnable wizard pack that wipes you out. So every step is important. All right, good use of saving and resetting around. I like that. Again, I cannot stress how important saving any, like getting away from any overworld encounter can be. I mean, that's like seconds upon minutes over the course of an entire seed. Like this whole like encounter section that you're hitting here is like, that could have been like drop a tent and then just not see any of that. Or, you know, do a hard reset to get away from it. There's your ribbon. Throw it on the white mage, like it. And we got the Lefane Superstore on, so you may as well get whatever magic you didn't pick up in any of the other cities. Good use of warp, good use of saving. The routing through here, the pathway you used there could have been a little bit cleaner. You could have saved yourself maybe 5-10 steps walking back to the airship, but that's not a huge deal. That is true. Mr. Biss is right. You could just go right into the next door instead of walking out and walking back in. You can just go across. All right, I'm going to ask a really dumb question. I apologize for it. But what does the KEKW mean? Because I'm old and have senioritis. Plus, there's really nothing to talk about with this air dive. Laughs. Okay. All right, there's your tail. Unfortunately, we're like... Oh, it's just an emote? Okay. Only thing there... Now we've got our tail. Let's see or whatever. Okay. I could. I thought it was like quack, like the sound that the chocobo makes. Oh, that, okay. Ah, see? That's what I'm saying, man. I'm just an old dude that doesn't know what's going on in the world. I only one tooth. Also only one tooth. Okay. I was, like I said, I thought it was like the quack sound that the chocobos make in part 9. So I was like, I don't understand what that has to do with what we're talking about, but cool. All right, so good use of wall. May as well, if we're going to keep the ribbon on the white mage, you may as well throw a wall out there to keep your fighter alive, especially after all the craziness we've seen land on this high-level fighter. Oh yeah, that's terrifying. Cool. Alright, so we made it through that. Crushing it. Just got to go kill Carrie and we're in business. We just got to go kill Carrie. Oh no, we're going to do class change first. Now at this point I would not even... There's no real reason to do class change. You're kind of giving away some time by just coming down here. Because you've got a fighter that's level 36 with a Masamune that can wreck everything. Like, not really a lot that katana plus 4 on that ninja's going to do. But, I mean, I guess you could equip that black shirt. Yes. Pog Tasty. Please post Pog Tasty. I need to see what that is. At least we remembered Carrie's not in fact dead. All right, let's see how we do on the damage tiles here, going through here. Beautiful. Look at all that damage tile action. Yes. Oh my God, you missed a step. You missed a step again. We got heal 3. Would have been a little quicker to use heal 3 than to menu around a bunch of heal pots. I think I said it during Beachdreaming. Every heal 3 is the equivalent of like menuing out 9 heal pots. So heal 3 a little bit quicker, just a tiny bit. All right, so going up against Carrie, I like just going full on offense, not even bothering with tempers and all that jazz. Another thing somebody was mentioning, I think during the last stream, is how useful Life 2, especially a level 1 Life 2, can be as a healing item. So let's say, for instance, you're in Topher, and your black mage or your thief is like running low on HP. Instead of like throwing out a cure 4, you can just let that black mage die and then use a Life 2. Man, Glare, just not... Come on. All right, luckily we have the ribbon on the... Hey, look, the Life 2 coming in handy here. Right. I don't really see anything that this Topher's going to do to you, so I may as well at least talk about how you handle or what you do. Again, heal 3 here, a little bit quicker than menuing out a bunch of heal pots. Or, like I said before, you don't even need to do it. You could just wait until one of them dies and throw a Life 2 down or use a Cure 4 or something like that. Just a little bit quicker. Just some food for thoughts here. That's a dead lich. Yeah. All right. Thinking about what we're doing here. Yes, wall. So, yeah, you have your thief in the front slot. Leave the thief in the front slot there. Going ahead, temper. I think fast was level 7, which I don't think you saw, but I think Beachdreaming saw. It was in Gaia. But, yeah, temper wall. Either wait with the thief or attack, because at least the thief's going to do a little bit of damage with the katana. And then, of course, attack with the fighter. We never found a defense sword, so, I mean, you could power bonk if you want to, but I think trying to kill these things as quick as possible is better, especially since you spent the time to grind levels. Okay, so we're going to put the knight in the back row. I'm fine with that. Temper, yes. Wall, yes. Okay. So one thing I will say here is that if you put the power bonk in the first slot of your fighter's armor inventory, then it's quicker to menu to that power bonk if you need to use it. So just another thing that could save you a little bit of time, like one button press, right? That Kraken battle was scary, by the way. Holy moly. He was messing everybody up. Might have been a good thing you put the black belt where you did. I'm not sure if your fighter would have survived that. I don't know. He's got 830 HP. I think he would have been fine. All right. So again, a lot of the same stuff. So the one thing I would say is just, this is kind of, you're a newer player again, so I'm not going to harp on certain things too much, but, work on the menuing, having that power bonk in that first slot, just kind of some indecisiveness about what you're thinking about doing. Think about what you plan on doing in a battle before you get into the battle can help out some. But as far as the new player is concerned, I think you've done the seed very well. Like, whoa, we're already at Garland. We're only an hour 12 in. Garland, we'll check this chaos battle, and then I'll talk about where your time was compared to everybody else's. And just ways I can think of that you could have shaved some time off, which I've already mentioned. I feel like those things, like using the heal 3s, could have saved you some time. Having that power bonk in that first slot could save some time over the course of these battles. Not grinding there, I think, picking up battles along the way might have been a little bit quicker than doing an Agama. I mean, that was like a lot of time we spent hanging out with the Agama. When if you were going to go to level 36, you may as well have brought a black belt. Big ol' hit out of that Masa. Oh, wow. And yeah, at this point, you may as well throw some nukes and just attack. But that should be a dead Garland too there. So yeah, I mean, I was pretty well done. Like I said, outside of those things that I mentioned earlier, I think that went pretty well. I think you routed it well. I think the decisions that you made the most sense. Yeah. Like I said, the only true thing I would say, like, that cost you probably the majority of your time was just forgetting that the Masa was an incentive item. Therefore, grinding Agamas or even looking for a grind tile, and then not taking enough levels to get to level 15 and buying the key. Like, you had that dragon that you could kill that would have easily gotten you to 15 across your party. Yeah. So, I mean, those are really the only two things I could really think of that were super glaring. As far as the routing decisions that you made, I think were really good. I had no problem with the way you routed your overworld and what dungeons you chose to go to after certain dungeons. I would have liked to have seen, those houses were cheap. I would have liked to have seen those picked up. Remember, you can sell things that you don't really need, like, the Thor's hammer and the ice, the black shirt, the pro cape. Pro cape's fine. It's a good shield, but it's not necessary, and you could have gotten some money for that. Or the katana if you really wanted to get the key early on. But the key early on wasn't even really required anyway. So I would have preferred to see I'm going to go in. This red dragon I can kill. I've got quad X, ice 3s, ice 5 sword. Take this until I get to 15 and then just kind of move on from there. Maybe even Dan off your thief at that point and try to get levels on your fighter, white mage and black mage, and just kind of go and take battles along the way, like I said, in Sea Shrine or in Sky. But yeah, I mean, after that grind, the The routing looked good. You know, doing the bottle first before going into Earth Cave, because it ended up being the rod, then going there, doing the slab. I would have probably done the slab first, but we knew that going to Waterfall was the right play. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Done. Anyway, that was a big old GG's for Egodev. I'm glad I was able to finish those last 2 VOD reviews. So next week, and then by the way, if you are watching and you want to submit something for me to talk about, feel free to do it in the Puff and Pulse Season 2 room, and I will get to it. This is it for this week. No one else has given me anything from week 1, and I'm not going to review anything from the Black Belt or the current Duckling Weekly until next week, because I don't want any potential for spoilers. So Shadow Mr. T241, or who I like to call Shadow Mort 241, will be next. And then after that, it looks like I have blah, 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 blah. I think DM Stewart is next after that. So that is what I have on my agenda for VOD reviews. So that'll happen sometime next week. I appreciate everybody for hanging out and listening to me talk about Final Fantasy stuff. Egodev, thank you for putting yourself out there. Beachdreaming, once you see this later, thank you for putting yourself out there. MS Tribus, Jesus the Frog, Rubes 000, Hate 13, and everybody else that's just kind of hanging out and potentially lurking and watching. Thank you so much for watching. And if you are out there and you aren't part of the community, just join FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. Click on the link that says Final Fantasy, or that takes you to the Discord, the community Discord, and go there, and that'll give you everything you need. So you guys have an awesome night, and I will give Final Fantasy Randomizer their Twitch channel back. So again, have a good one. Good night.